Welcome back to Toledo's most fun, local, and positive 9 a.m. show, Good Day. At one time, the Glass City was full of bootlegging, brothels, and back rooms were made for business deals. If you ever wondered where those nefarious dealings took place, Andrew Price can tell us. He's with us this morning. Thanks for being here today.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, so you started a tour, and you had the first one, Toledo's Hidden Past. You had your first one last night.
Yes, we did.
You've got more to come. So what is this tour all about?
So I am the owner of the Blarney Event Center. That's where we start and end the tour at. And I'm a Toledo native, University of Toledo alum. Always had a love for my city and just always been into history like that. So wanted to incorporate an event that kind of touched on everything, including the mafia influence, bootlegging, some of the old live music venues and architecture of the city, and we kind of put it all into one in a tour.
Cool. So is this a walking tour?
It is.
Okay.
So it's 6 to 9 p.m., about 2 hours on the tour. So when we leave the Blarney Event Center, we go to the Tenderloin District is what they refer to it as.
Okay.
There's a couple of books that are pretty fascinating with Toledo history that touch on some of that, but south of Fifth Third Field, Erie Street Market, that area, there was 35 brothels, gambling halls, all kinds of stuff up until about March 1918 is kind of when they shut it down, when Prohibition was approaching.
No kidding. So, I mean, when you think about it, it's really not that long ago. I mean, it's 100 years, but still, it's crazy to think that just about 100 years ago, this was a completely different scene than what we see over there now.
And I think what's interesting about Toledo is everyone knows that there's, it's kind of the crossroads, right?
Yeah.
You have Chicago, you have Detroit, you have New York City, some of the bigger mafia towns or, that had bigger factions and families. They all kind of struggled over Toledo. You get that Holy Toledo saying. There's a couple different stories of where that came from, whether it is
the churches or the...
Correct, the per capita of how many people with churches, or also when the mafia figures were in town, depending on what city they were from, you couldn't bring your beef into Toledo. So if you saw each other, no matter where your dealings were, you couldn't bring that in Toledo. They didn't want that around here.
Oh, that's so interesting. It's
kind of a touchstone.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, that's really interesting. So you've got, 8 stops, I think, on this tour? Is that right?
Yep.
And you said you start in, the Tenderloin District.
Correct.
And where do you go from there?
So our first stop's the Oliver House, which was built in 1859. It's one of the Greek revival hotels that's still around. There's not too many of those that they were building in the Civil War era. We go up the new Riverwalk, stop at Promenade Park, where there was a tragic fire in 1894 that the grain elevators went for a day or two and miraculously didn't take out the business district that was spreading a lot. And then from there we go up through Summit Street to Adams Street, and then we talk about the history of all the movie palaces and the old venues that were along Adams Street that, the mafia had a lot of influence on the entertainment district at the time. And then towards the end, we pass the former Peppermint Club, Country Palace, and I actually own the baby grand piano that was in that building.
Wow.
Which we're working on getting restored and being able to be shared with the community again. So
keeping that history alive.
Absolutely. And what's really interesting about the Peppermint Club, it's so cool to see that they renovated it finally. There's some really nice apartments in there. There's another business going in on the first floor. But that was built in 1898.
Wow.
And it was originally called Birch Theater. That was the original name of it. And the fellow that started it was actually shot outside in front of the theater by his wife when she was supposedly caught him having an affair. And he survived miraculously. He lost an eye, but he survived. And she ended up passing away not long after that.
Wow. So this is just a sample of some of the things that you're going to be able to learn as you're walking around on this tour. Now, can you bring a drink with you?
Yes, you can. We got a first stop at the Oliver House, and you can fill your door cup up, and then we have another stop on the way as well, and end at the event center.
You got to stay hydrated while you're doing all that walking, right? So the first one you said was last night. How did everything go?
It went very well. We have 35 registration spots. Every single one of them was filled. We do have a VIP option where you can upgrade, get a keepsake, a souvenir pint glass, a drink ticket, and hang out a little bit longer afterwards, get to know people.
Yeah, cool. So the next one is going to be coming up on July 1st, right?
That's correct.
And what day of the week is that? Thursday? I think.
Wednesday.
Yep. Sorry, put you on the spot there. So in the evening time, you said, what, 6 to 9?
Yep, 6 to 9 p.m. So what folks can expect when they arrive at the Blarney Event Center, first half hour, kind of grab a drink, get to know people. We head out around 6:30 and then get back between 8:30, 8:45, and folks can hang out thereafter. So we say 6 to 9 p.m. That's a little flexible on the back end.
Yeah, so however you want to make it. How do people get tickets?
Yeah, they can go on the website, theblarneyeventcenter.com. We also are a live music venue and event space. People rent us out. We host weddings, receptions, all kinds of fun stuff like that. So all the information for public events is on there.
Yeah, so this sounds really, really interesting, Toledo's hidden past, and hear all these stories, get a nice walk in. And I'll tell you, you mentioned the river walk and everything. So much has been done with downtown Toledo. If you haven't come down here to go for a walk, it really is worth it, even just to see what things are looking like now. A lot of work has been done, but then to also compare that to how things were about 100 years ago, a little bit longer. So interesting stuff. Hey, thanks for coming today. We appreciate it.
Thank you guys for having me.
Have fun with all of this. Yeah.